This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you in part by the Naperville Sun.
Well, Naperville North boys swimming and diving coach Andy McWhiter. We're here at the pool. You guys, big expectations coming into this season. We're about 5-6 weeks into the season. How have you assessed this team's performance?
So far this year, the boys are working hard. We're getting the mileage in the practice. That's been a good thing. Looking at their times in meets, comparing those meets to last year's times, they're right where they need to be. Some are a little faster, which we would expect, but we're coming up to a couple of big weekends here. This weekend with Naperville Central and the Evanston Invite, and the following weekend at the New Trier Trevians. We've got 3 opportunities to set the base for what we want to do at sectionals at the end of the year.
Is one of those couple of meets kind of maybe show you where you guys are at as well?
Yeah, it's going to show us where we're at, especially at the Evanston meet. The Evanston meet has got many of the top teams in the state at that meet, and so it'll give us that opportunity to show them where we're at, but also show us where we need to get to for sectionals in state.
Now, you've been teaching and coaching at Naperville North here for a while, but this is your first year as boys swimming and diving head coach. Kind of, what's that transition been like?
It's been a pretty good transition. The previous coach, Kurt Johns, he did a lot of work with the team over the 3 years. So the team's achievements this year is in large part to his work the past 3 years with these boys. So I'm following up on some of the things that he started. It's been a great group of guys to work with, and developing the program for the future has been outstanding.
Now, the senior class that's here right now is really heralded, the big trio of Nick Bessler, Kevin Butts, and Andy Eichen. What do they kind of bring to the table? It seems like, you know, people have been talking about them for the last 3-4 years, and they've kind of produced the results for people to be able to.
They've produced the results in a variety of different ways, not only in the swimming pool, at the swim meets and getting those times there, but also the leadership in the water and on deck, dry land, throughout the school day. The leadership that they bring has helped coalesce the entire varsity squad and most of the JV squad into the team that we want to be in the future. So they've been doing that for the last 3 years, and this 4th year have really set the table for all of us to achieve those higher goals.
And they're kind of the headliners of a big senior class that includes a lot more than just them, along with some very good juniors as well. What's it kind of like having that foundation for you coming in as a first-year coach with this program?
The foundation has been just fantastic. The rest of the seniors of Tommy Hubbard and David Healy have helped round some of that stuff out. And our juniors with Eric Correa and Kevin Kloma have done a great job of being those 2nd and 3rd places in the relays and in our secondary events, things like that. So when we go into a duel against Naperville Central, we are pretty deep in a lot of events. As we go up against these big invitationals the next 2 weeks, that depth is really what's going to bring us to the forefront for that 1st or 2nd place that we're looking for.
Definitely, and as we kind of look over the past couple weeks, it's that middle part of the season where I imagine guys start to get bogged down a little bit, maybe, you know, doing a lot of work in the pool in practice time, but at the same time there's some of these neat events like you guys having the college events, a lot of schools doing that, the Aqua Pentathlon that you guys participated in. How much does that kind of go a little bit different from the norm to get these guys just hitting different things and trying new stuff out?
This time of season has been difficult for everybody swimming. You've had the week right before winter break was finals for the boys, so they're trying to manage swimming and their academics. Then you've got the holidays thrown in there, and then 2 solid weeks of 2 days in the pool plus weights. They're putting on the mileage, so having the swim meets like the college events or the Aqua Pentathlon is a nice diversion from the work that they have to get done. And now we're finishing up that work, and we end the season with a 3.5-hour practice tomorrow, going right into Naperville Central and Evanston. So we've been talking as a team on, yes, we know you're tired, we're not letting up on you, and the expectations tomorrow night with Naperville Central and on Saturday with Evanston is for you to make that next goal for yourself, so that when we get to taper, boy, those times really drop.
Yeah, and you talk about, Naperville Central, obviously, along with you guys, have been very good programs here. I imagine that gives those guys a little bit something to get up for and look forward to and get pumped up about after seeming unendless practice hours.
Yeah. And when the kids swim against Naperville Central, they're swimming against their friends. Many of these kids are swimming together in club teams. They've known each other since they've been 8 years old, and so it's a nice level of competition. It's fierce, but it's also, you see the kids at the end reaching over, shaking hands, and that level, that brings us both teams up to that greater level for that competition.
When you talk about boys swimming and diving here in the state of Illinois, it seems like at least one or two of the Naperville schools is always in the discussion year in, year out. It's North, Central, Neuqua, Waubonsie, any of those schools can kind of be inserted into that discussion. Why do you think it is that this area has been so good over the past 15, 20 years, and are always in that discussion?
I think that first and foremost is the opportunities kids have outside of the high school programs with their variety of different clubs that are in the area that the kids can participate in. There's a variety of programs for them to get started when they're 8 years old with the neighborhood pools and the club teams that are around. The variety of programs beyond swimming, such as water polo or the diving programs for them to also be part of, so it builds upon itself. Then I think also in this suburban area you have kids from the get-go be involved in something, whether it's swimming or soccer. It helps to start that athlete training as early as 8 years old.
Swimming's kind of a tight-knit community here in town. What's it been like when you guys have shared to meet your son? Michael swims at Waubonsie. What's it been like to be able to kind of see him grow as a swimmer along with coaching your team kind of at the same time on some of those shared meet days? On
some of those shared meet days, it's kind of fun. I wear orange and blue, and I'll have a little green and gold on somewhere to cheer him on. But the rest of the boys on the team know that my son swims over there, so the times where I'm kind of keeping an eye on him and seeing how he's doing, the boys respect that. And it's also been nice to see him grow as an athlete and what he's been able to produce through Waubonsie Valley.
Now, I know you guys have big goals as a team, kind of looking forward to sectionals and state. What is it that Naperville North swimming needs to do here as we move down the road to be able to hopefully achieve some of those?
Like I said earlier, one of the biggest things we have to do is this weekend and the following weekend, even though we're tired and not tapered, is really produce some fast times over these next 3 big meets. That will set the stage for what they'll end up being able to do for a taper. We don't want to wait until the week of sectionals, start taper, and have those tremendous time drops. Then we want the kids to start getting a little faster so that getting that state cut for some of them or getting that lifetime best for some of them who already have the state cut becomes even easier as they get that taper in and working that way. So over these next 2 weeks, it's really important that the boys find it deep within inside themselves to produce those fast times on Friday with Naperville Central, up at Evanston against the wide competition they're going to have there, and then the following week at New Trier.
Definitely. Well, it's a very important stretch in your schedule. We appreciate you giving us a little bit of time, and good luck these next couple weeks.
All right. Thank you.